Hi, I'm Jonas, game developer on Necesse, and welcome to the first devlog video we have for our new update, Necesse Rust and Romance. In this video we're gonna be talking about the new personality system, which is coming with the update, and a bunch of other cool things, including recreation activities, the new quality of life level system, and honestly just a whole bunch of stuff. So I also just want to mention before I get started, this is just gonna be a video where I'm pretty much rambling about this new system, the changes we've made and why we've made them. So it's not gonna be like super edited or anything like that. But I hope you'll still have a good time listen to me ramble a bit. Yeah, this is I've been looking forward to this video. We've been like playing with these personalities for like 6 months now or something like that, so it feels good to finally share it. So let's dive right into it, guys. Alright, before we jump into all the cool new features we've added in this update, I just wanted to talk a bit about what we're trying to achieve with these changes to the personalities, or I guess by adding the personalities in general. Because one of the things we wanted to do in this update was to make our settlers a bit more exciting, both in the sense that there's a bit more life to them. It actually feels like they're going around the settlement and doing stuff, you know, interacting more with each other, doing activities, and just feels like a bigger part of your settlement instead of just like being mindless workers. Then we also wanted to, I guess we didn't like it too much that you could just do a minimal setup for the settlers that then gave them super high happiness, and then they would just do all their work like perfectly, and then there wasn't that much more interaction to them, and you didn't get rewarded that much more for doing for treating them better. So I think some of the changes we've done here in this update addresses that, which I'll get into with the new features here in a bit. And then I think lastly, there should be some more like reason for you to pick specific settlers when they come and get recruited. Right now you just like get a new settler visiting your settlement and you just like recruit them without thinking too much about it. Like there was no reason not to do it because they could nearly all just do the same things, and it just seemed like a no-brainer, right? So I think those are some of the issues we've tried to solve with these systems. Both by adding the new personalities, a new quality of life system, and also recreation activities, which are gonna be very cool. So I think we should just dive into those features and talk a bit about them. Let's start by taking a look at personalities. Alright, so before we dive fully into the new systems here, I just want to say there's obviously gonna be a bunch of spoilers now for the new systems, so if you don't want to get spoiled until the update, then I suggest you hop away from the video now. I'll also mention that some things are still subject to change and are not final, because we're still, you know, reviewing the update and doing the final small fixes, but for the most part the system should look similar to what you see in this video. So with that said, I think we should look at some of the new personalities for settlers. And to do that, let's start by actually also just looking at our settler menu that has changed a bit. Most notably, you'll see that you have all your settlers now out here to the left, which is very nice for ease of selecting them. You can even shift click to like select several of them. And then there is like some new icons and a bit of UI changes just to make it look a bit more juicy. So let's take a look at some. Let's check out. Yeah, you know what? Let's check out Henrietta. Why not? So immediately you can see here on the UI that there's a lot of new things here. But what we're looking at right now is the personalities, which are indicated in the boxes up here in the top. You can see that Henrietta is both a warrior, a potion seller, a gem collector, and weatherbound. Now, the way personalities works is that there are two types of personalities. There are the bonus perks that give the specific settlers some buffs or like enhance their stats in some way or just alters their power level. And then there are the personality preferences. I think we're deciding on calling them, which are more like different preferences or perks that you can sort of like you can try to achieve for the settler to increase their overall happiness, which in turn affects their quality of life level, which I'll talk about a bit later here. But for now, let's take a look at some of the personalities, both the perks and the preferences. So for example, Henrietta has the warrior perk, which is, as you would have guessed, pretty good for a settler that enjoys melee combat. And you can see that based on their quality of life level, it actually gets she gets bigger bonuses from it. Now, the way you can increase the quality of life level and happiness in general is by trying to achieve some of these, I guess, preference personalities, we'll call them. You know, sometimes it's just, for example, with this gem collector, to give them something that will make them happy for a little while. Sometimes it might be something that's a bit out of your control. For example, Henrietta likes it when it's sunny, so we can hope for and pray for a sunny day. But some other settlers will have like more specific stuff that you can adjust and address. For example, we have Ken here, who's a lumberjack. You guessed it, he enjoys chopping down trees, so then it would be good for you to assign him to a forestry zone, right? Because then he would get increased happiness, which would in turn increase his magician perk, which makes him a more powerful mage, which is very nice. Let's see here if we have any other fun ones we could look at. Yeah, sometimes for the most part there'll only be like one personality perk that sort of increases the stats of the settler, but you can be lucky and get two, like Mercy here for example, that has both the summoner perk that increases the maximum amount of summons she can have out, but also the glyph maniac that sometimes throws a random glyph at you. Let's see here when falling. So for example, follow me. Boom, that's right. We got some attack speed from the ruby glyph, which is very nice. Now, all settlers spawn with these personalities, and when a settler comes to visit your base and you want to recruit it, the idea is now that you'll, I guess actually you can see, we have Lloyd the mage who just came to visit. The idea is that you like check the mage and you'll be like, should we have him join my settlement here? Does he have some good perks? We got another glyph maniac here, lumberjack and flower collector, but there's not that many perks, so maybe I'm not interested in him right now, so I'll wait for the next one, right? So that's sort of the idea with the personalities, that there's a bit more reason to pick a specific settler, and the settlers just become a lot more fun and sort of challenge you a lot of times to make different rooms or like assign the jobs differently than you would. For example, Tim the Guard, who's a spruce enthusiast, so he gets more happiness from spruce furniture in his room. So there's a lot of new things to address with these personalities, and it's gonna be a bit more work, I guess, to set up your settlement and settlers if you want to maximize the happiness. But I also think that's a lot of fun for the new system, right? Because if you manage to get some of these perks up, they can become pretty powerful, right? Yeah. For example, I have Fidelity. She's pretty high quality of life level, so she's a very powerful ranger right now to use with ranged weapons. So it's also sort of a way to min-max your settlement even more. Okay, there's a lot of rambling about personalities. I hope it made sense. I'd love to talk a bit more about the quality of life now and how that works in turn with the personalities. So yeah, let's take a look at that. Okay, so quality of life. Let's talk about it, how it works and how it affects our settlers. And I think the best way to start is just to simply look at the new UI here. So as you saw before, we just went through all the personality traits and the different bonus perks and preferences. But as you can see, we have a badge here to the right, which is the quality of life level that also in itself gives some bonuses. You can see here that each quality of life level gives some work speed, movement speed and damage, and then you can see the current bonus we're at. So by reaching level 2 here on Tim, he has gotten plus 5% in all of those stats. Quality of life level can increase, technically you can, there's no limit to the level you can put it at. Right now I think our badge goes up to 7, and then there's sort of prestige version after that, where you could take it infinitely, I guess. But the bonuses that you get from the personality perks are also limited to the good or better quality of life. So in the end, you'll still get some bonuses, but you won't feel the impact of it as much as you do from leveling him up to level 7. Now, the way you get more levels, quality of life levels, is by increasing your settler's happiness, which is sort of similar to the old system we had. There are still the same things that are important, like that you get some good food, that you have a nice room, and that you have a bed and everything, you know, the usual. But also now that you have the new personality preferences, that you sort of like address those to increase the happiness even further. And if you look at the happiness bar here, it sort of explains how it works. So when the quality of life level is between 50% and 80%, or well, I guess the happiness level is between that, as you can see here by these two indicators. That means that you currently won't increase in quality of life level, or they will not decrease either. They're just at the same level. So Tim right now, he's level 2. He's sort of close though to getting above 80%, which means that if he stays there for a little while, then his quality of life will increase to level 3. Now every time you increase your quality of life level, it will decrease the total happiness by 30%, making it harder to get to the next level. But I'll show you how that works, because I think we're just gonna try to increase the level here on Tim. Just want to say as well that if the bar were below 50% happiness, then Tim is likely to decrease in his quality of life, going down to level 1. So that's sort of like a brief overview of how it works with these bars and the UI indicators. As you can see, we also have a new hunger bar that shows when they need to go eat food, for example, and the recreation, which I'll get into a bit later. But for now, I think me and Tim, I think he deserves, getting a bit better quality of life. So we're gonna try to help achieve that today. Now let's take a look here. So most notably, Tim is both bloodthirsty, but is also a spruce enthusiast. So to increase his happiness, we could go out and go out and battle a bit and kill some mobs together with Tim. Then he would be pretty happy. But here on the settlement level, we could also just add some spruce furniture to his room. So I think we should just do that for starters and see if that won't help. So let's take a look here. Tim, I believe this is your room. Yes. And you actually also are living together with Mercy right now, so that will still also give a happiness reduction like the old system, unless you have the personality perk or preference that is called Roomy, where you actually get happiness from living with someone else. But Tim doesn't have that, so we'll look into that. If you're a bit uncertain about how to improve their happiness or things that maybe affect them, then you can, as always, click the How Are You Feeling menu, which will sort of bring up this menu as well, but also give you a lot of insight into how you can improve this specific settler's happiness. In this case here with Tim, it looks like he's been eating pretty well. It's a small settlement, there's not too many people yet, so he thinks that's okay. And then he actually has been hurting some enemies lately. I guess maybe he's been out killing some zombies at night. He is a guard after all. My room's furniture selection is unrivaled, so he's pretty happy with the room, but it could be a bit bigger, and he doesn't have any spruce furniture in the room, which we could get some extra happiness from. And he's deprived of recreation. I guess that's because he might be following me around. And he's sharing the room with other settlers. So you know what, Tim? I'll let you go here for now, and then I'll fix up your room a bit. Luckily, I'm in creative mode, so I can just cheat a bit. For starters, let's remove Mercy from the room, and let me just do this. I'm sorry, Mercy. You need to go live somewhere else. Here we go. So Mercy, you can live in the shack over here by the water, where we keep the food storage. I'm sorry, Mercy, but Tim is my new best friend right now. Okay, so that's one way we could improve it, and then Henrietta is just hanging out with us here while we're doing this. Then I think it was a spruce enthusiast Tim was ran. Yes. Alright, so let's see here. Spruce. And I guess we'll clean up a bit here with some of the furniture, make room to it. And we'll it's still nice to have a toilet, you know. Actually, we could get in a spruce bathtub as well, huh? Oh, we missed the rock there. And you know, he could have like a nice spruce cabinet. Guess we could even do a spruce bed. Just gotta remember to assign him to it again. Oh, he's jogging out there already. That's it about it. I'm sorry, Tim. Let's get on it. Good. You have this one now. Cool. Just maybe some more light in here, and you know, we could do something like a little modular table here. The elder is just sitting on the can right now, and Tim is talking to him. You know, it's boundaries. It's not something our settlers are too crazy about, so I guess that's nice. And you know, let's make it a bit nice here. What else could we add here? Maybe a nice clock, because Tim can indeed see that it's getting late now. Alright, so we did some changes now. We removed the Mercy from the room, so now Tim has the room for himself. And we also added some spruce furniture that should have increased. That should also give him some happiness based on his personality preference, right? So let's take a look here. Tim, we have you selected. So, boom. Holy moly, you see that bar? It is full right now. That means that Tim will very soon increase in quality of life level. So let's just get him back here for a second so we can see what's up. How are you doing, Tim? You jog in here now. Alright. So, how are you feeling? Spruce enthusiast. He has gotten plus 30 happiness for that now, because we added 5 different furniture types. He's even been out killing some more. And he no longer has the minus 20 from having a roommate. So he should increase in the quality of life level shortly. I guess I could speed up the time a bit here. So we'll see. Let's just clear your orders, Tim. You can also see here in the settler menu when like all the quality of life levels here. You can see when they're like close to increasing in level, indicated by green, also closer to decrease in level, indicated by orange and red. For example, Mercy here is actually a bit low on happiness. So maybe it's because I put her out in the shack to sleep for the night, you know. But gotta prioritize Tim right now. So let's see here. I'm just gonna speed up time a bit, because we can do that. Look at how fast you go. And then we'll see here if Tim won't increase his quality of life level shortly. Hey, there we go. Let's take it down one bit again. Tim, my friend, you are now at a decent quality of life. And actually you can see that we added so much happiness that he's, even after like leveling up again, he's still like at max happiness. So that means that he's actually gonna reach a quality of life level 4 soon as well. Which of course gives us some juicy perks. We can see that he is now at a decent quality of life. So his personality perk for Ranger has increased, which has given him some extra projectile bounces. And now also his current bonus just from quality of life levels has increased to 10% work speed, movement speed and damage. So that's pretty nice. Now, the whole idea with this system is that you'll of course try to min-max a bit with all your settlers to get the ideal setup. Some settlers may have perks that also increase their work speed, that may be more good to be in the settlement. And just like work for you at the most efficient state possible. Tim here is a bit more combat focused with his perks, so he's probably good to bring out for some bosses, you know, because he gets a lot more range capabilities, and he also gets more happiness from being bloodthirsty, so it just makes sense, you know, to bring him for that. And our hope is that you'll sort of like assign your settlers accordingly to what makes sense to their personalities, and then how you can try to maximize their quality of life best. Yes, I hope that makes sense, guys. I know Tim was very happy that I recorded this video because his quality of life increased. But the last thing we have to talk about is recreation. So let's hop right over to that. Okay, so recreation is the last bit here of this new personality rework or settler rework, I guess, that I'd like to talk about. And it's also a pretty fun one. As you can see now, we have also the recreation bar in here. And the way it actually works is, I guess, sort of similar to before, when settlers would go around and take a break in between work. Now they're more likely to do a recreation activity, which is also like a sort of resource that you have to maintain. Now there are a lot of different recreation activities. They can talk with each other, they can go for a jog, they can dance, and they can gaze at the water. So let's go around and see if we can capture some of them while they're doing it right now. For example, Tim and Ken is talking a bit. Let's see if we got something else. We actually have Fidelity in here. She is enjoying art by looking at the statue in her room, also while chatting, so min-maxing that recreation. Let's see here. Mercy is about to go listen to some music, and they're actually dancing. The same goes for Ken. So yeah, I guess there's a bunch of different recreation activities. Connie fishing over there, but you can also be gazing at the water, which is sort of cozy. And now we have Ken, he's out jogging. So in general, your whole settlement should just look like there's a bit more stuff going on. They'll of course still be doing the other jobs, but then in between they're also just doing these fun recreation activities. We'll likely add some more in the future because they're pretty fun, and if you have some good ideas for recreation activities the settlers could do, then you're more than welcome to drop them in a comment for the video, because it is a lot of fun, and it sort of just works the same way as before, that you have just this bar that needs to be filled out, which was the equivalent to resting before. Now they just do some more stuff, fun stuff in between. So I guess it's probably one of the most notable things you'll notice when you go into your new world save after the update and see all your settlers doing random stuff. So that's pretty fun. Yeah, and that's pretty much recreation activities for you. Okay, I think we're about to reach the end of this video, but there's just like a final thing I'd like to address that some people might be worried about with this update, which is the people those of you that already have a huge settlement. If you've done a crazy setup and you may have 50 settlers, 100 settlers, and you're thinking, oh no, this update is gonna drop and you're gonna get personalities and you're all gonna be unhappy and it's gonna be a mess and I have to change everything. Don't worry, it's gonna be fine. There are still the base needs that they get happiness from, so if you still got them a room with a bed and they still got food, then it's still gonna work the same way as before. The way you should see the system is just a way to improve your settlers even further. So yes, if you do want to min-max and that's what you enjoy, then you will have to change up your settlement for sure. But if you just wanted to continue working the same, then it's still going to do that. It might even work even better just because you might already like achieve some of the personality perks you have by default with some of your building setups. So some settlers might have a higher quality of level, and so I wouldn't be that afraid on that front of like your settlement changing up too much. It should just improve, and then you can work on it even more to improve it even further, right? So that was just the last thing I wanted to address before we're calling it a day. This video ended up being pretty long, but that's usually what happens when I start rambling. But it's also a pretty big change here with this personality system and the quality of life and recreation. But it's actually really cool and something we wanted to do for a long while. So I can't wait for all of you guys to try it out. And yeah, then I guess all that's left to say is just thank you all so much for watching. The Necesse Rust and Romance update is dropping on July 30th, and it's gonna drop alongside a Steam free weekend. So if you guys want to try it out there that don't have the game yet, or if you have some friends that want to try it, then now would be a very good time to do so. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you at that update.